Greetings and welcome to Hexed and Countered. I'm Joe. In this video, we will be taking a look at the game Desert War 1940 to 42. This was designed by BK Wargames and published by Matrix, or Slytherine if you prefer, but Matrix. And we're going to do the introductory scenario just to kind of show how the game works, keep it simple, and hopefully informative for you guys. So it does say that we're playing a tutorial, and it shows you what some of the hotkeys can do, right? So we're going to close this. Now, it did say if you hit Q, you can see setup hexes, right? Down here, if we hit the info 1 button, right, you get options here. If you hover, it'll show you what they are. Open scenario briefing, open quick start manual, open scenario statistics, right? So let's go here. Now this gives you the kind of basics of the scenario. So this is a short one, relatively 8 turns, 12 by 15 map, so relatively small area. And 31st of December 1944, we will be playing the Allies. This is the second battle for Bardia, which is the introductory battle, right? It's got down here 3 turns per day, so it's 2 2 2/3 of a day, I guess, right? Small map, as I said. We got 2,500 meters per hex. 31 access units, 48 allied units. For beginners, play as allies. It's low force, low complexity, and the advantages in favor of the allies. This took place during Crusader. Rommel's Panzer Army Africa is in full retreat. The port of Bardia and its Axis garrison is cut off and surrounded by elephants. Sorry. Hannibal, no. Elements of the 2nd South African Division and the New Zealand Cavalry Regiment. All right, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but you get the picture. So you can always get that there. Now you can see up here you've got Open AI Assist. You got a tutorial there. You can close that. If we hit 2, you can see down here you've got CRT stuff for ground, air, and bombardment. So if we click that, here is your CRT, so you can see what your odd-based stuff is, and it is kind of familiarly, I guess, for those of us who are tabletop wargamers like I am, you can see the dice roll and what it corresponds to based on your force ratio, and of course there are additions here, and you have different intensities, which change things, as you can see, right? And based on what level of unit you have, you gain or lose losses, or quality increases and decreases damage. So conscripts obviously will take the most damage. Green troops will take extra damage. Veterans will take less, and elite will take the least. I apologize for that. All right. Well, we have to close it with this, I guess. Well, maybe not. There we go. All right. Down here we've got display options and sound options. Right. Okay. Now you see you hover over things and you get these up here because we do have items up here that you can also use. This will show you your unit details. This will display the list of hotkeys for the game. You can see H, for example, is to show the HQ chain of command. Then we have other things. Here's Q, setup zones during setup only. You've got artillery specific ones, movement ones, units. N will show either the NATO units or these kind of silhouettes. So if we wanted to switch to NATO type icons here, you can easily do that. B will let you break down. You can cycle through units in stack with the C, O, U. So there are a lot of hotkeys, but helpfully, if you click on that hot, flame, and key, pretty easy to remember, that will display that. And then this guy here is your victory points, scenario info, hex content overview. So this just shows you kind of what's in a hex if you're hovering over it. And then this one is your total men and guns, vehicles in a hex. So again, if you hover over, you'll see the units that are in a hex, along with the number of guns and the hex effects that you can see in the kind of the upper left there of the 2 units that are in there. If you look at the machine gun battalion, which is the top one, of course, you can see there are a couple of icons there, which are based on this one. Right. Okay. Now just continuing to go through things up here. Up here you've got your time of day, what phase we're in, what turn we're in. This is proceed to the next phase. Then you've got assets that you are assigning to counter air and interdiction up here. Over here we have turn info, battle summaries, of course, move orders, all both grayed out because we don't have anything yet. HQ buttons, unit display buttons, and hex content buttons. All right, and then this guy is your info panel. So you can close it or open it as you deem necessary. All right. Okay, so I'm going to push the H key. Now, if I hover over a unit, it will show you the links to the HQ, and it works both ways. So if I were to go here or here, right, all of these specific units kind of connect. These are subordinated to this. There's an HQ in here, and that HQ is subordinate to the South Force, which is itself subordinate to the division, which of course is subordinate to the 13th Corps, which is down here. Right, so you can see this 13th Corps has its own units, which are up in here. They are artillery, as you can see. So you've got artillery controlled by the Corps. Then you've got Pilgrim Force here, which has some, and they're all helpfully labeled. You can see how they're all, this says Pilgrim on it. This says Pilgrim on it. These all 3 say Pilgrim on it as well. So it tells you who they're attached to. So you got your South Force in here along with the 3rd South African Brigade, and then 13th Corps and Pilgrim Force and your 1st Tank Brigade, and so on. So that's down here. You also have some stuff up here. If we were to go here, you can see these are linked as well. We have North Force units and King Force units as well. So that is your Allied forces. Okay, so if we hover over this, you have units in here. And you can slide, if you slide your thing, you see they get selected differently, right? Now you have the HQ there is what I'm hovering over right now. It's at the bottom of the stack. Now if I press the F hotkey, it selects the whole thing. So now all 3 of these guys are selected. And if we left click on the artillery unit, it deselects it, and we can reselect it like that. Now if we press C, it pops the HQ to the top, and so this cycles you through. C for cycle, right? And then let's see. Let's go over here and select this one. And cycle to the tank here, which is part of Pilgrim Force, as you can see over there. Right, so if we click that to kind of lock them in, then we can deselect that. And now Pilgrim Force is selected, which would let us do something with it. Okay, so if we click on it, we have to click on it here. We get info. It should get unit info. Well, I'm not getting unit info here. There it is. We right-clicked. Okay, right-click. Sorry, that's my bad. All right, so right-click on it, and you get the unit information. It is an armor company. HQ is Pilgrim Force. It contains 16 vehicles. You can see its various defensive, its various values, and if you hover over them, it'll tell you specifically what it is, right? Your stacking size, your defensive anti-aircraft value, its health, readiness, I call that health, strength, defensive orders, so it's got a hold order, You also have hold at all costs and withdraw. Then up here, we've got shock shifts. Because it's an armored unit, it gives additional shock. So it shifts the odds 4 columns. So that's pretty, it's equal to 4 attacks with an infantry unit of stacking size 3 with no shock, if you read all of that stuff. Right over here, you've got that it's dug in. See, it's intel strength, it's intel range, the owning HQ's line of command range, and its distance from the HQ is 3 hexes. And down here, you can click this to select the whole hex, which we already know, right? F is the select the hex, and this is the HQ. So if you click this, you only see HQs. Everything else gets kind of fuzzed out, but that's how that works. So that shock shift is an important thing for when we're doing battles, of course. Now, if we go back to this, and we go to the supply icon here, you can see it is allocated base supply. So to adjust that, we can use the HQ supply window. So just kind of going through what there are. There are 3 levels there, as you can see: basic, move plus, and combat plus. And it doesn't, basic is basic, right? Move points are halved, but you have no effect on unit attack or defense factors. Road movement not allowed. Okay, so basic will not let you do road movement, and your move points are halved. Move plus, you get full movement and can use road movement. Combat plus, your move points still are halved again, but attack factor multiplied by 2 and artillery is multiplied by 4, right? So they're feeding you in ammunition, basically, right? And again, supply can be allocated from the HQ supply window. So we're gonna do some combat, so we will get to see combat plus supply here as we attempt to capture Bardia. But at the start of every turn, it's important to note that everything gets reset to basic. So if you stick it in move plus or combat plus, don't expect that to stick into the through the next turn, because that does not happen. That noise was annoying. Okay. All right. All right, now let's close this. I'm gonna go, whoops. I think this one is what we want. Let's see what we got here. We've got Company A. That's the one we want. We'll deselect this guy. This is Company A of the 8th Royal Tank. So what we're going to do with this guy is we're going to drag it over to its friend in this one, I think. I think it's here. Yeah, B. Okay. So I'm going to take this guy. Oops, I did that backwards. We want him here. And we want this one. Okay, so to move a unit, you double click it and then click on the hex you want it to go to. So we've kind of put our infantry together here, and our armor is together up here. So if we wanted to swap that around, you can do this. And then if we cycle through, put that there, do this, and that's how we get it. So now we have our armor here, and then some infantry in the back here. And yeah, that's what we want. Okay. Now we go to the move phase. So we click our green button up here. Unused ground, air, naval. I guess so. Proceed, yes. Okay, planning. Isn't that where we just were? Oh, now we're in the planning phase. This is where we give our orders. So we're going to move. Oh, we've got Germans on map now. We're going to move our second, mouse over the 2nd SA Division HQ. It's down here. Okay. And press R. Okay, so that's its range. The hexes in green receive full supply. This is good because we will plan an attack. So you can see that you can also kind of resize the map by using the mouse wheel. So let me shrink it a little bit so we can see the whole thing in one shot here. All right, so again, the green is full supply and yellow is not supply. Okay. So let's plan some attacks here. What do we want to do? This. Come on. Oh, I guess we can't attack there. Can't attack there. Okay. And these guys. So I guess I screwed up and I should have put these up here. I'm kind of following the tutorial that's in the manual. I think the manual needs to be updated because some of the instructions don't actually work very well right now. It talks about dragging units. You can't drag. I've tried. It does not work. So let's just full hex and attack. 4.5 to 1. Okay. All right. One thing to consider when attacking is the stacking size of the units. These are both 1s, so because they're just tank companies, and so they, they're smaller units. The bigger units will take up more, and the stacking limit for a hex is 8. So that's just something you need to keep in mind. Okay. Now let's find our Pilgrim HQ. Let me zoom back in. Here it is. If we right-click on it and open the supply window. Where is that one? There it is. Okay. Now, what do we want to set it to? So you can see what you've got, right? Fuel supply, ammo, current fuel, current ammo, right? So we want to put Combat Plus there. Then click this, and you can see that went down by 6. Now I think that might, yep, that lets them attack too. So, no, maybe not. But you can see they're stronger now. They can't attack. That's because I messed up. All right, let's go down here. And we want this. Want this guy. No, we're not moving. There. I'll put this in Combat Plus as well. we can also change unit level. So let's see, let's find this unit it mentions here. Okay, it's this one. So let's put this, yep, that's on top. If we click that, we can come down here. And we can put it, okay, so if you change it for an individual unit, something to keep in mind is it's also going to change for the parent unit as well. All right. Orders button is yellow, which means move and attack. Okay. Okay. Up here. F. Now it says to drag and drop, but that does not work, as you can see. All right, let's have these guys. Attack there. We'll do these guys and have them attack there. 5.4 to 1. Okay. Now we want to select artillery. Okay, so that would be this guy. We're going to have it fire on here. All right. Now, where is the rest of their artillery? Over here. Okay. So, I'm going to select this guy. And we're going to do Alt-R. One of those frustrating things where it doesn't seem to work right. Alt-R. It does nothing. Alt-R. Select all artillery units in hex to fire mode. Alt-R. Now it works. Okay. All right, I must have been doing something wrong. Now we have 3 more right here. So if we do the same thing, Alt-R, do that, and then they also fire it as well. Oh, that's not the one we wanted to do, though. Let's try and change it to do this one. There we go. Okay. All right, now we've got up here, you've got your assets that you can use. You've got air, naval, and ground assets. So let's click the air assets. Okay, so we have the 60th Squadron of the South African Air Force. There's a Recon unit, and for an attack unit, we got some Blenheims here. Okay, a Free French unit. All right, So let's go back to our Recon. So the first number is its intel range, which is, there we go. So this is the intel strength, and that is the intel range. All right, we got 12 planes here. Okay, has the Martin, Maryland. Now let's have this guy, Recon Bardia. Okay, that worked. Now let's go to the attack button. 2 attack units with the Blenheim Mark IV. All right, now if we right click here, you get the info on these guys: readiness, strength, ground support value, attack value, and defense value. Can only perform interdiction and counter air, can perform ground support, and can bombard enemy units. All right. So if you click on the unit badge, so over here, you can see this letter is an I, that's interdiction, and counter air. So you can click on that, right? Order is counter air. If we click over here, we can set this one to interdiction. Now we have one of each. So what is the difference between those two? And you can see over here it says interdiction for that one. So for ground counter air will attack and try to disrupt any enemy air units. Interdiction, they try to destroy ammo and fuel, slow the movement of enemy units, and reduce supply range. So you want to always, not always, but you don't want to neglect interdiction because it degrades the combat efficiency of the enemy unit. If you're, I'm sure most of you know that, but I'm just throwing it out there. So if we select it, whoops, why is my mouse not doing this correctly? Okay, so addiction. Okay, so if we turn this off and just put it on bombing, and then select a hex, and we'll do this one, and you can see the little crosshairs on there. This is a ground attack, high intensity. That'll give us another column shift. Okay. All right. And then we'll take this one, and we'll also send it to do that as well. And that one has an S for ground support. This one also has an S for ground support. So they're both doing ground support now. And we've got a 3-column shift there, so it's 9.3 to 1. That's pretty good, I think. All right, now let's do the naval stuff. You can see that turned green, meaning we've got it assigned. Now we've got naval. We got some ships out here that we can use for some bombardment. Now the number in here is attack and range. So attack value on the bottom. So Ajax here, it's a cruiser, so it's the most powerful of these guys. Well, it's a light cruiser, but still a cruiser. These are all destroyers, of course. So it has an attack strength of 16, sorry, and a range of 5. The destroyers have ranges, or attack rather, of 9 for these 3, I think. 9, 8, 8. No, it's all 8. I can't read the little numbers, and the range is 3. This one's got an attack of 4, apparently, and a range of 3. The Foxhound must be an older one. All right. So let's select Gurkha here. And let's go for this one. Maybe. Yeah, this one. Okay. I'm going to bombard that guy. Okay. Then we'll go to okay, so now ideally you want to attack units that you have some information on. So this one does have information. This one has information. And these guys have information that you can actually see. So those would be more useful to attack. So if we wanted to have it, say, Ajax, bombard this guy, and maybe do Napier to this guy. Right? Why not? I mean, they're unlikely to do much, but it's worth at least, giving it a shot, right? Why not? So now let's do ground assets. Now it shows yellow because we applied some, but not all. Now if we go to ground assets, down here you can see you've got intel and command, logistics, and special forces. Those two are both grayed out. So you have EW intercept here, right? We have one intel unit. So this unit has an intel range of 4 and a strength of 1. So not great, right? So let's assign it to this hex right here. Okay, so it gets the binoculars on there. That indicates we're going to use it there. Right. Now if we go to command, we got surprise, combined arms, and main effort. Okay, so if we click on this, this unit can shift attacking defending odds by 2 columns, similar to air units, but not subject to any air attacks. So this is main effort for the 8th Army. Okay, and we're going to stick that on here too. We're going to hit these guys really hard. And you can see here it is now in support mode for ground support. So you can use these two as well, but these are more specialized and should be used judiciously according to the tutorial. So we will not do that. So now we are done planning. So let's move on. Yes, proceed. Okay. Now we're going to see something happen. Maybe. Execution. Okay. So execution plays out kind of like a movie, and you can see you've got video controls down here. So we can watch and pause and all kinds of like fast forward and skip and all that stuff, right? So if we play it, we should see some stuff happening. It is moving. You can see the Germans are moving. Bombardment's coming in from the naval forces, right? Those are naval bombardment. Now we've got air. You can see it's a little slow. You can move it forward manually as well. We've got attacks coming in. All right, proceed to next phase. Okay, so if we click no, we can hover over and see results. Right, so you see our losses there on the left and German or Axis losses on the right for that attack. Okay, over here you can see German losses, 2 defender retreats. This one, our result was units, defender retreat. Up here, defender 2 units, 2 defender retreats. You can see we inflicted, at least in 2 of the attacks, we did pretty well. This one would have been even stronger if I had actually been able to use these 2 guys, but I did not, was not able to. And this one only, I guess, one of the armor units actually moved up into that hex. Okay, so then you've got that, and that is how that works. So, okay, so if you right click, you can get better information. So the odd shifts, it tells you why you got odd shifts and what they were. You got 1 for an engineer unit, 2 for air attacks, 2 for command shifts, and the quality gave us an extra 1. Base odds were 6.4 to 1. We were 43.2 to 6.8 on the defender side in terms of strength. And command, the Germans were slightly better, or the defenders, there were Italians in here too, of course. You can see all of the different strength points. We had way more infantry than they did. We had a lot of artillery, they had none. And then you can see the units that were involved on both sides. So that's how you break that down. So if you want to see that, you can always click no. And then if you wanted to proceed, I think you click this one. No. Oh, we're moving on to the next part of the tutorial, I think. Yes, because we're now in the planning phase for turn 2. So I'm going to stop here. It was a little disjointed because I had a little bit of trouble with some of the controls. That could be me. I'm not going to completely blame the manual for it, although I don't think the drag and drop works. It's left click and left click to actually move units. And that, I think, cost me, at least with this one, because I didn't have them in the right spot. But that also may have just been me moving incorrectly. So, like I said, that's going to do it for this one. I do thank you for watching. I hope you got something out of the video. But we are done for now. Thank you, and quick shout out to my channel members who are supporting the Hexed and Countered channel. I do appreciate that. Also, thank you to my subscribers. Thank you to everyone who watched. While you're here, if you'd consider liking, sharing, hyping, maybe subscribing. Any comments or questions, you can post them in the comments section. But we're done for now. So let me know what you think. And that's going to do it. I'm Joe. This is Hexed and Countered. And until next time, as always, happy gaming.